says, head on Mars, you say. This Sunday, it will be all the way to Neptune. I want to speak about the game now. It's the only real big FA Cup tie this weekend. How are you? I'm going to throw to a neutral verse. Kate, how do you see this game going at the weekend? Arsenal, obviously, very strong team against Newcastle and lost. They've got the North London derby, I think, Wednesday next week. How do they line up for this game? And how do you see it going on Sunday?
Well, I think Arsenal should be panicking because there's going to be a special match ball played just because it's being played for the FA Cup holders, which are Man United men's and women's. So it's a special limited edition ball. So Arteta's got the excuse immediately that if the ball, if they lose, the ball is not round enough or whatever else. Look, I can't see Arsenal winning this game. I'm not going to lie. I think Man United go in as underdogs, which is exactly where Man United want to be. They looked excellent against Liverpool. I think they should have beaten Liverpool at the weekend. I really think Arsenal are going to struggle this weekend. And like Kunle just said, if they go out of the FA Cup, it's 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. It's all going a little bit tits up for the Arsenal, who at the start of the season told me they were going to win everything. So but it's like I say, it's okay. You can have your excuses ready, and your manager can excuse everything because of the ball. So, but no, I think Man United sneak the win. I do. I think they get the win.
You do realize they asked him the question about the ball.
I know exactly what they asked him. I watched it.
Okay, and for somebody to address a question, there's nothing wrong with that. I think people are doing this whole clickbait thing. There's nothing wrong with speaking about the ball. Obviously, he's not blaming it for the result. He's simply
he did say it was slightly different because it flew.
It is different. Same way.
Yeah, well, he's going to have another different one. So what's he going to do about this one?
Same. Let's not do this, Kate. We're better than this. You're making
it seem like answered it.
Yeah, exactly that, Cameron. I would have just risen above it and not answered.
Should have been like, I don't want to talk about the ball. It has nothing to do with why we lost the game.
He can't help himself. It's just this fishing rod. It's so easy.
Listen, a manager has asked the question. He dares answer the question immediately.
No, you still explaining this.
Let's not pretend you can't say the next question. Let's not pretend a manager cannot sit there and go, I see what's happening here. Like we watched both sports. You see every my coach.
Maybe it's genius.
And he goes, I know what you're doing. I'm gonna move on.
Maybe it's genius because then it deflects away from the performance. Maybe it's genius. Josie,
I think Arsenal's last clean sheet was against Ipswich as well.
You can't say he meant to do that.
And Arsenal's last defeat up until that point, if I'm not mistaken, was versus Inter. So
what I'm saying is they're going to leak goals, and I've just got a feeling, don't get upset with me, Ego. I don't want to, I don't want to upset you, but I just think you will lose that game.
I'm not upset. I'm calm. I understand the situation that we're in. I understand our attack has not been playing well. I understand we have extremely high standards and we're not living up to where we are supposed to be. But guess what? We're still second in the league. We're still third in the Champions League table. We're still, in our last 10 games, we've only lost at least, 2 of them? We lost 2 games in our last 10. So I don't think it's going to be a game where Manchester United are going to come to our house and absolutely play us off the park. It's going to be close. And I acknowledge that. But I still expect Arsenal to get the job done. Now, we need players to step up. That would be Jesus, Havertz, and these guys. And hopefully some of the players who've been sick for majority of the last couple of weeks are fully back and ready. And there's no excuses because there's been a whole lot of excuses lately, and I don't want to hear that. I just want to make sure these guys go out there and understand the importance of this game. And something else? Disgraceful from the fans. The tickets are not selling out for these games. People don't seem to be interested anymore. They're selling out. They're basically giving up on the team like they did last year, going into the aston Villa game, going into some of the time. Whenever we go through tough times, it immediately shows in the turnout in these games. Arsenal, forget the ballot system. Let the tickets go on general sale, and let's get more of those fans in the building. Because right now, what's happening? Basically, the whole stadium's not sold out yet, and it's Thursday before the game. Crazy.
So is it the fans' fault as well?
Yeah, the fans and
the boat.
The fans are also involved because they're supposed to cheer on the team.
Have you bought a ticket for this weekend?
No, I got a ticket for North London Derby.
You're the problem.
You're not going.
You're
not going.
I can't go. I'm going to be taking care of my son. My wife's working.
What about all the Arsenal fans you're blaming who also got to take care of their kids and got to work and stuff? It can't just be...
Terry, come on. There's more than enough fans in London that can go to that game.
Look, I will say this in terms of like Arsenal fans. I don't believe, regardless of what I think about Arteta, I'm going in that game with chest. Like I'm looking for smoke against Manchester United. It's war. It's war. I'm not going there with negative feelings. Like we're going there for war. They must leave blood on that pitch. Manchester United, it's not jokes out here. Like the fans need to back it. Can't be doom and gloom, quiet Emirates and all that stuff. Whatever you think this team are going to finish this season, when you turn up to the stadium, you support your team, innit? 100%, without a doubt, whether you like the manager or not. So like, you need to. I'm 100% behind my team this weekend, but boy, here's why I lie. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm worried. I'm worried because my neck is on the line here, man. You at home, 2 competitions in 1 week. I'm getting some crazy flashbacks, and I don't like them. Please, Mikel Arteta, if you're watching the football Terrace,
I want to ask you guys an important question about the game. Right? I want to ask an important question about the game. I don't see you picking your strongest team Tuesday, Sunday, and then North London derby, and I mean that from a point of view. No one ever does. Who do you think starts this game? Where do you think you might weaken the side that could help Man United? Because I'll be honest, you're still the favourites no matter which team you pick. But I'm not going to lie. I'm hopeful that I see 2 or 3 of your sort of B team and fringe players start because of the action pack. And it isn't just that. You then play again at the weekend after the North London derby. Then you got the Champions League. You guys basically have 1 game a week all the way up until the end of February. So rotation is going to be key. Do you think you will rotate, or because it's Man United, do you think it will be as strong as possible? How do you see it, gents?
You want to go first?
It's a weird one because I don't even know what our strongest team is right now. So it's one of them ones. I could see him starting Marino and Rice. But I don't know. As long as Partey isn't playing right back, anything goes, to be fair.
Yeah, I want a Partey right back. I will give you a centre back. You know what I mean? I want Zinchenko right back. Whoever your sub goalkeeper is, you know what I mean? I want all of them. I want them.
Neto actually might play. Neto's our backup goalkeeper. He's not cup tied for the FA Cup. So Neto is going to play. I think it's going to be, the back line is probably going to be Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, and what do you call it? And Calafiori. But if he does make a change, maybe it's one of Saliba or Gabriel for Kivio.
He doesn't do that.
The midfield, I would expect Jorginho to start this game. I would say probably Jorginho, Moreno, Odegaard, or Jorginho, Rice, Odegaard. And then the front 3, Jesus didn't start the last game, so Jesus would start on the right wing. I think Martinelli would start on the left wing, and I would go Havertz up top. So I think that's probably what would happen.
Oh, that's horrid, man. That is us.
I hope that.
Are you prioritising? Do you think Arteta will prioritise the league, the FA Cup? Okay. Will he let the Carabao Cup go now and think this long?
What's wrong with you today, Kate? Is this what's good?
Guys, I'll throw the question back at you, Kate. Like, honestly, what do you think he should do? 6 points at the top of the league, FA Cup at home. Which one do you think he should prioritize? Like, I know we both want him to go weak for our games. I know we both do. But what do you think Arteta should do?
Well, for me, listening to Arsenal fans, unless he wins the league this year, the majority of them want him out. So for me, he should prioritise the league, which obviously is the North London derby. But at the same time, you've got to rely on Liverpool to drop points. You're 6 points behind them and they've got a game in hand. So are you putting all your eggs in one basket and then risking the chance of having nothing at the end of the season? That's the quandary that Arteta's in. What's that?
The honest truth is losing to Newcastle, we already are at risk of going with nothing this season.
Yeah, but you've got the FA Cup still.
The FA Cup, the Champions League, the Premier League, the odds of winning them is a lot lower at this moment in time. So I'm not looking at the season and saying, oh, put all my eggs in the FA Cup. I'm just saying Arteta put out the best team possible. We're at home. We're versus Manchester United. We should still win, and we should still be able to find a way to do it. But when it comes to rotation, I don't think you really need to look at the rotation at this moment in time. Just say to yourself, these are 2 tough games midweek. Grind it out for the next for the next 5 days. Put out the best lineups you can for both games, and maybe slight rotations like the goalkeeper, one defender, one midfielder, one attacker. Not massive changes. Maybe 4 changes out of the 2 teams. That's it.
So if he puts his full team out, supposing he puts Saliba and Gabriel out, for example, and puts your strongest team out at the weekend, but then one or two get injured of your top key players, are you looking at Arteta then going, he shouldn't have done that because now we're out of the league? Chase,
no,
do you see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to wind you up. I'm literally trying to understand how you think.
Okay, we can't have our cake and eat it too. We always say Arteta doesn't take these cups serious. So if he takes it serious versus Man United and plays a strong team and players get injured, you can't control that. But if he were to play a weakened team and we lost, you can control that. That's in your control. So I'm not going to blame him for things that are not in his control.
That's fair.
Okay.
I
will blame him at the end of the season.
If he wins. I agree, Gal. I would be more upset if he put out a weakened team and lost versus you get to the North London Derby and you lost players because you put out you can't control that part. And people who come out, and I hate revisionism when they're like, that's why you should have rotated or whatnot. It's if you're a serious team that wants to win everything, which you should be right now, I don't think any game should be taken for granted. And I think when it comes to the Champions League, maybe that's where you could rotate, because I think you're high enough with the way it works. I think you're high enough to go through to the next round with another win or whatnot. So I think that's where you would rotate. And I don't think it makes any sense if after what you saw from us on the weekend to rotate your squad. That would be basically you're saying we don't care about this cup. Like if he does rotate it, he's telling the world he doesn't care about the FA Cup.
Also, you guys concede set piece goals on a regular basis. So why would we take out our best set piece?
So here's the thing. The path for this is I mean when I say this, if Onana gets a red card because he punches one of your dudes in the head because you're crowding, I will be completely fine with it. If I see us allowing the same, if I see the same nonsense where we allow you guys to push up, I want Onana 2-fist, boom, back of somebody's head, like what? I was going for the ball. If he gets a red card, I am completely okay with it because messages have to be sent. We cannot be that weak in our box because I think that is for us. That's your win. That is your win condition. That is our loss condition at the end of the day is going to be set pieces. We saw it the first time we played you. And we didn't at the end of the day, a lot of people if you watch that game, that's how we lost the game. It was set pieces. It was not, we got played off the park. It was not, you created a whole bunch of chances left, right, and center. We created a bunch of good chances as well. You beat us off set pieces, which credit to you. I'm not one of those people who take it away. I want to make that clear when people are like, oh, it's part of the game. I agree. We let that happen. That's how we lost that game. So we're going to learn a lot about these two managers and these two teams in this game. We're going to find out if Amorim can make the right adjustments quickly. Maybe he doesn't have the result, but if he can make the right adjustments quickly, maybe it's not starting Martinez and it's putting in Euro and it's going Maguire, Euro, De Ligt, and you put in monsters, back three, who all can play in a back three. Maybe that's something he does. I would love to see something like that. Maybe we're going to see how your team handles pressure too, because now you're under so much pressure. Losing that game against Newcastle, the pressure that is on Arsenal to win this game. United are coming in. We just drew against Liverpool. We're feeling we're the underdog. We're not supposed to win this game, so our players should be loose. They should be going there knowing that we lost the game against you due to set pieces. And I just want Amorim to not mess with his attack, like what he did with keep the attack the same. Keep the attack the same. As much as I'm like Rasmus hasn't been hit, keep what you had going the same against Liverpool, and let's just see if we learned from the set piece mistakes. Because I'm not saying we're going to win the game. I think we are the heavy underdogs. At the end of the day, we are going to the Emirates, but I do think based on the last game we played against you and the game that we played against Liverpool, there's a lot of ways for us to win this game, which I would not have said before the Liverpool game. I really needed to see that Liverpool game.
Lot of ways.
A lot of ways we could win the game. A lot of different
Very
ways.
confident.
I'm confident that we can come away with the result. I said we're the heavy underdog, so that's not heavy confidence. You just said
there's a lot of ways you can win. That sounds pretty confident, bro.
Because I'm objectively looking at the first time we played you, we had a lot of chances. We had the way we created against Liverpool, the way we've been creating. I'm sitting there going, if we don't allow these set piece goals and we play our football and we have Ugarte and we have Manu run in the midfield because they do look like they can work well together. The players, the guy just told me Jorginho's going to be in the midfield. that doesn't scare me. Like midfield's normally where I'm terrified. I look at other teams' midfields and I'm like, we're gonna get smoked. I look at your midfield right now and you're saying Jorginho, Marino, and Odegaard. That doesn't put a lot of fear in me. I'm not gonna lie. That's nothing. And you don't have Saka. Saka terrifies me as a player. And you don't have Saka. So now who am I looking at? Martinelli, who I've just watched miss a 1v1. Jesus, who, yeah, he scored some goals recently. But
do you know what's interesting?